this. Let me know when you're ready to go through steps. And hide your debt, please. This time, though, the game should not crash and break. Yeah. Because remember we left and I had the game going. Game's not lagging at all right now. As long as I don't have the Cursed Viper on with this game. The Viper mouse. Ooh, yeah. Explosions all around. Like I said. Oh. What's up, future? How you doing, friend? Maybe he needs a poop. Something he hasn't done today. Game is definitely lagging hard right now. It shouldn't crash from the lag. It just crashed because of the screen going to sleep or the computer going to sleep. A lot of games just don't like that. Not the screen, but more the computer going to sleep. They don't care about the screen. Sometimes. But I think this character just has natural poison resistance like he's made for this map. Yeah, things also stay kind of behind. And then they charge, and so which is perfect for the launcher because he just lobs things. He doesn't have to get close at all. Yeah, there's a common that increases. I'm on the cooldown reduction. Yeah. See if we can take a global pickup. There we go. Only once. This character gains infinite drop range that can pull. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so for this I need to finish this mission, I have to collect so many gasolines to increase my mortar count to be able to be done with this thing's mission. It's been my focus for like all week. Yeah, like annoying. Like trying to get to that region, I have to wait for it to clear. But in all fairness, it does hurt them though, which is nice. They're just dumb little insects. Just pop all these, get close. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. Mm-hmm. Brain stats. There again, they're on Multnomah Falls. happens. Works. Well, now I just need to wait. Leave that there. Okay, yeah, go that way. Alright, so now I'm just doing this, filling groups out until pretty much another upgrade for the thing. The upgrade stuff. Yeah, it'll be like our armor slot. Well, there's just different varieties of rarities in it. Well, for this run, I have things pretty set. Not just for this one, it's all. Nope, it's not. It's supposed to defeat the final boss after emptying none of these by breaking these cells. The whole point, it's like a Vampire Survivor where you survive, get missiles. I mean, there's still a completion step every turn. Like I'm not trying to get a chance-based thing. I'm not waiting a million years just hoping for something to drop at 1 in a million chance. Like there's progression to be seen. This is not a grind. This is just this one little time thing you have to do. Usually they're not like this. Usually they're just completed at this difficulty. I enjoy this game. I mean, if you... I like the system of this game. Do I see a Roblox paywall popping up? Hey, paid $20 to be done with this mission. No. I mean, that's really bringing it down. That's pretty much what happens. Get a battle pass for X, Y, and Z to make the game a lot easier for you. There you go. Shopkeeper came. Oh, now you can teleport him to get the goodies because there's a limited number. So go ahead, drop Roblox on this game for us. Oh yeah, I don't like that stuff. I don't like things that pop up a paywall. You're asking about games because you're asking me about what I like and don't like, and I'm sharing to you. Yeah, you're saying yeah. There's not exactly a grind. It's difficulty all the way through. A grind game means there's just no difficulty in it. But it's difficult all the way through as I'm trying to survive from fighting the monsters. Grind. Well, now things are easier. Again, I build right, but it was really hard to get to this point. I feel good about what I built at this point. I don't start the game with no difficulty. There's no time. Like, there's no like X amount of where I just sit and chill and hope I win the chance game. I'm just talking about it, comparing to other things. Like, okay, fine. Doesn't have to make sense to you, but I enjoy it, and that's okay. Like things don't make sense to me with the games you guys play, and I just let it be. Of course. And I get to see, I mean, like, I just enjoy it. I get to see the fun of how my build reaches its point. It's a road game, and so this is a top-down. Yes, there's a lot of good games with building elements in it. That's a concept of a good road game. No, they're different. They're called roguelikes, not called grind games. This is a roguelike. You play to the beginning and end. So like I have it in the name, but it's still a roguelike. But still, it's from beginning to end. I'm not waiting a million years hoping that I get a 1 in a millionth chance, 1 in 2 million chance, 1 in a billion chance. I guzzle potions for chance. Okay, but you get my point. I like this game. I don't like those games. Plain and simple. It's challenging all the way through. A grind game, like a tycoon, you're literally, it's just a wait game, and Souls RNG is almost like a tycoon where you're just waiting, hoping that you get the thing. You're praying, please chance, give me the thing, give me the thing. Please drop this item for me. May I have the equipment? Increase my chance of winning something. I'm just saying, that's why I don't like them. I don't want to play a game where I'm praying to the chances. That I'm hoping I'm increasing my chances. Well, when I do the quest, there's new items that come out. Like, I just enjoy this concept, and I'm welcome to enjoy what I like, my friend. And I'm welcome to. And this quest was annoying. It made me almost quit, if I'm being honest. But I'm almost done. I figured out something to beat it. It was a hard challenge to get my mortar to level 20 to beat. I figured it out. But it was a challenge all the way through. Huh? No, not in this one. Cuphead we got help from the stream, but no one on stream has helped me at all in this game. Because this game is like not popular at all. This is like deep cut road game right here. Vampire Bullet Heaven like. Right on the taskbar. You can right click and hit taskbar. Go to show more options. And then send to. If there is no taskbar, you just have to lock it when you start the game. You have to lock the taskbar on when it's on the taskbar when you start the game. I mean, I wouldn't mind running through them once I complete my quest. Left front. What was I telling you yesterday? Yeah. No. Mm-hmm. Hmm? Hmm. He's really into all the outdoorsy stuff. It's his passion hobby. I think he's just a great fisher, a great huntsman. Just really good at that stuff. Come on, game. I'd be done with this mission so already. Yeah. No, it usually means what the range I could pick up, my pickup range, but I picked up. Oh, I got one. No, no damage comes from it. It's just. No. Nope. No pulse. It's just pickup range. All it is. Oh yeah. I guess that's like. Yeah. It's like pickup. So like I see. So I guess so. Yeah. It's my interaction. How I interact with the eggs. Yeah. I actually didn't notice that. Thanks for noticing that. Because I just move near them and they pop. Like I don't. My brain's hyper focused on the mission, and part of the mission is popping these eggs. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They do like boba. That's funny. Mm-hmm. 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 It's like I build my build, it's strong, great. I just want to. I hate this mission so much. To work to get 20 counts on my motor, which means like so there's a chance of them dropping gasoline. I had to collect 250 of them. Yeah, this is, you're right, this is what I don't like, but luckily this is not the full system of the game. If this is what the game was clearly 100% about, yeah. I do like the bullet heaven aspect of it, and I do love like I like one thing about general RPGs is you could build a character and you can see like them, like what they're like when you, after you build them, like see like how powerful or weak they are. I have no idea. How many motors am I at? I'm at 14. I need 20. I need... Thank you, Wave. Waves help a lot. Because they just summon a whole bunch of monsters for me to defeat. I wish I could have quicker waves, yeah. I'm all like I've already mastered beat this area. It's just now it's just, and which I hate. I hate waiting, as you know me. Yeah. Well, like with the bobber, there's a chance, you know, like waiting equals chance of something catching. Like you're just trying to outsmart the fish. But this I know. All right. I hate this so much. Oh man, I need to keep on popping them while there we go. Some in the storms are like super chunky. Keep on popping. This is a reason why I choose this upgrade. Usually I like the little bot that shoots, but this way, like, because right now I can't get any more upgrades on the map. This is the only way, these are the only way that I can get upgrades. The hunter? I mean, I imagine there's just harder animals to hunt. Maybe there's like a super like albino bear or something. That'd be cool. Yeah. Yes, my friend? Mm-hmm. Like studying like hunting stuff. I mean, that's an interesting question. I don't know. I don't know what my, because I don't go deep hunting on video games as I have a comfortable knowledge, you know. Double hit intervals, increase maximum stack, burn stack count. Let's make them burn more ticks of burn. Yeah, well, what I'm doing is giving them a crazy amount of burn. I'm just reading it. This is like this is just the most ridiculous mission. It's not hard. It's just, this is not hard. This is why I hate general grind games. Like, there's no, like, I got here, awesome, I won, and I should just be done. But now I just have to play this wait game. With, like, the game running at 5 frames. No, it's more of the application. It's not my computer. I mean, he's not stuck at frames. It just can't handle this much. Because everything that's happening requires it to compute pretty much math. And so the application is at its limit. Yeah, you know, everything gets boiled down to math when it comes to graphics. Yep. And that's what graphics cards are. They're big, yeah, just big die math communicators. That's why graphics cards were used for cryptocurrency for cryptocurrency. What's that? Is Kentucky a good hunting spot? You must have a really good Parks and Rec department. Oh, so does like do they pay you to hunt it if it's over? At least we're dealing with the overpopulated animal, or overpopulated predator. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. I have killed all. Look at that. I have killed 122,000. I have killed 122,000. This is ridiculous. Okay, I might count 16. Okay. Oh yeah, 12,000. You're right. fight. So I need to like just run over these sloughs of red pockets. Those are where more. The red ones are what spawns the monster. So more monsters means more gasoline. Yeah, I can't be too crazy. Everything costs fuel, but I'm trying to gather. I don't have to hold on to 250. I just literally have to pick up 250 per mortar count. Well, not maybe. It actually went crazy fast once I started doing this strat, so it shouldn't take much longer. 6 or 8 years before Paul was writing, there had been trouble among the Jews in Rome. It is possible even that this had been caused by the coming of the Christian gospel to the Jewish groups in the city. But Claudius, who was emperor at the time, had had enough. Oh, it was Claudius who kicked him out. Last night I was saying Nero and Claudius, but Claudius is the one who kicked him out. My bad. But Claudius, who was emperor at the time, had had enough. To say that the Romans didn't much like the Jews would be putting it mildly. And expelled the Jewish community from the city. When Paul arrived in Corinth, some of his first friends were among those who had left Rome for this reason. But with the death of Claudius in AD 54 and the ascension of Nero, the Jews were allowed back. It doesn't take much imagination to think how that might have affected the tiny Christian church. In fact, imagination can be kept on track by things that come up later in Romans itself. The pagan Romans, as I said, didn't care for the Jews. They sneered at them and distrusted them. From the Roman point of view, Christianity was bound to be seen as doubly strange and unwelcome, a kind of Jewish religion that made other Jews angry. So if, as seems likely, the church in Rome in the last years of Claudius' reign was composed entirely of non-Jews, Gentiles as the word we often use, it would have been easy for them to suppose that the new message had, as it were, left the Jewish world behind. God had done a new thing. Israel may have been the place where it all began, but now that had been left behind. All those rules and regulations, the law with its taboos, dietary restrictions, special holidays, all of it was gone. Christianity was now for the Gentile world, so they might have thought. And then the Jews came back, including the Jewish Christians. Some of those Jewish Christians were among Paul's closest friends. They would have shared his robust view of how God had fulfilled the Jewish law through the Messiah and also transcended it by including Gentiles on equal terms in his renewed people. But other Jewish Christians would have been deeply suspicious of this. Surely God gave the law to Moses. Doesn't that mean that every word of it is valid for all time? Supposing they found themselves living alongside a house church composed mostly of Gentile Christians who celebrated their freedom from the law, how would they feel? Suspicion, fueled by the social tensions among Rome's cosmopolitan mix of peoples might easily turn to hostility. Paul will address this step by step in the letter. It's important that all the way through we hold in our minds a historical picture of the Roman church and its questions, rather than imagining that it was a church just like one of ours. We shall discover another key point in chapter 15. Paul is hoping that Rome will serve as the base for a new phase of mission, going around the Western Mediterranean all the way to Spain. That's part of the reason for wanting the Roman church to understand the gospel he preached as fully as possible. But at this stage, the main thing he wants to do is to tell them he's praying for them. He holds them up day by day before God, thanking God that their faith is firmly in place, and praying that he may be able to come and see them and work among them before going on elsewhere. Those of us called to be pastors and teachers in the church should note this carefully. You ready for the clincher? When you hope to visit a person or town, the best possible preparation is that you should pray in advance for a chance to see them and for what God is going to do in their lives. That's good. So the Jews got kicked out of Rome. So Claudius died, and with Nero ascending, they allowed them back. So now Peter most likely is the one who started the church movement in Rome. But now, with the Jews getting kicked out, it's just mostly Gentiles. The Gentiles are like, hoo-ha, it started off with the Jews. Well, yeah, now there's a Gentile thing. But then now the Jews are back in, they're seeing the churches that the communities that they were heavily impacted, and they're like, whoa, what's going on here? Because they're not following the Sabbat, they're not following the Jewish practices. And so they're like, this is suspicious. And so now there's this tension. All right. So you want to do Bible Project? All right. So, question. After Bible Project, do you want to go take the car and do Adventure, or do Adventure after next allotment? Okay. Yeah, we did solve that.
Ezekiel, Obadiah, Habakkuk. What do these names have in common? Well, they're 3 of the 15 prophets that have their own books in the Bible.
And if you've tried to read these books, odds are you got lost in their dense poetry and strange imagery. But these books are super important for understanding the overall biblical story.
So let's talk about how to read the prophets. When I hear the word prophet, I think of a fortune teller, someone who predicts the future.
That's what being a prophet means in many cultures, but not in the Bible. While the biblical prophets sometimes speak about the future, they're way more than fortune tellers.
How should I think about them?
Well, they were Israelites who had a radical encounter with God's presence, and then were commissioned to go and speak on God's behalf.
Like a representative.
Right. And the thing that they cared about the most is the mutual partnership that existed between God and the Israelites.
Right, the partnership. God rescued Israel from slavery in Egypt and invited them to become a nation of justice and generosity that would represent his character to the nations.
And so this partnership required all Israelites to give their trust and allegiance to their God alone. In the Bible, this partnership's called the covenant.
But the leaders, the priests, the kings,
I'm curious. How to print screen. Hey, Mom. Thing at the. Never mind. I guess so.
Ezekiel, Obadiah, Habakkuk. What do these names have in common? Well, they're 3 of the 15 prophets that have their own books in the Bible.
And if you've tried to read these books, were commissioned to go and speak on God's behalf.
Like a representative.
Right. And the thing that they cared about the most is the mutual partnership that existed between God and the Israelites.
Right, the partnership. God rescued Israel from slavery in Egypt and invited them to become a nation of justice and generosity that would represent his character to the nations.
And so this partnership required all Israelites to give their trust and allegiance to their God alone. In the Bible, this partnership's called the covenant.
But the leaders, the priests, the kings, led Israel astray and they broke the covenant.
And so this is where the prophets came in, to remind Israel of their role in the partnership. And they did this in 3 ways. First, they were constantly accusing Israel for violating the terms of the covenant. The charges usually include idolatry, alliances with other nations and their gods, and allowing injustice towards the poor.
So like covenant lawyers.
Right. And so second, the prophets called the Israelites to repent, which means simply to turn around. They spoke of God's mercy to forgive them if they would just confess and change their ways.
But Israel and its leaders didn't change. Things went from bad to worse.
And so that brings us to the third way the prophets emphasized the covenant. They announced the consequences for breaking it, which they called the Day of the Lord.
Oh yeah, the apocalypse. Visions of the end of the world.
Well, sort of. The prophets were mostly interested in how God would bring his justice on Israel's corruption and on the violent nations around them. And while explaining these local events, they often used cosmic imagery.
Cosmic imagery?
Yeah, like Jeremiah. He described the exile of the Israelites to Babylon as the undoing of creation itself. The land dissolves into chaos and disorder, no light, no animals or people. Or Isaiah described the downfall of Babylon as the disintegration of the cosmos, stars falling from the sky, the sun going dark. For the prophets, when God acts in human history to bring justice, it's a day of the Lord.
So the prophets aren't talking about the end of the world.
Well, hold on. They're doing many things at once. The cosmic imagery shows how these important events of their day fit into the bigger story of God's mission to bring down every corrupt and violent nation once and for all. The prophets cared about the present and the future, and the cosmic imagery allowed them to talk about both at the same time.
Got it. So no matter when you live, the day of the Lord's bad news if you're part of Babylon.
But it's good news if you're waiting for God's kingdom. The day of the Lord pointed to the return of the exiles to Jerusalem, and once again, the prophets use cosmic poetry to describe it. They see a new Jerusalem like a new Garden of Eden, with all humanity living at peace with each other and with the animals. And there's a new messianic king who restores God's kingdom in a renewed creation.
Beautiful. So those are the 3 themes in the prophets. These prophets must have been very powerful, persuasive speakers.
Well, some were, but others lived on the margins. They would often perform strange symbolic stunts in public to communicate their message. Like when Ezekiel lay in the dirt and built a model of Jerusalem being attacked by Babylon. Or when Isaiah walked around naked for 3 years as a symbol of the humiliation of exile.
So did people pay attention to them?
Not really. The stories in these books show how the prophets were a minority group, mostly shunned by Israel's leaders. And their writings were a kind of resistance literature. Most people ignored them, that is, until their warnings came true in the Babylonian exile.
And after that, people began to take their words seriously.
Yes, the works of these earlier prophets were inherited by later unnamed prophets who studied these texts intensely. They're the ones who arranged the Hebrew scriptures as we know them, including the books of the prophets.
Okay, and there's 15 books of the prophets. The big three are Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel.
And then there's a collection of 12 smaller prophetic works unified on a single scroll. And in each of these books, you'll read stories about the prophets and their poems and visions, all arranged to show the cosmic meaning of Israel's history. How God would turn their tragic story of failure and exile
Into a story of hope and restoration for all nations.
And it's that twin message of prophetic warning and of hope that the prophets cared about so much. And it's a message that we still need to hear today.
All right. So, what stood out to you? Yeah, so it was more of like a warning future. Because
When the person just says,
yeah, so here's the cool thing about when Yahweh says this is going to happen. If people turn their hearts,
someone said,
he actually will relent the destruction that he said is going to happen. Like they're only
someone says,
yeah, they're only written on stone if people keep the rebellion heart. But then if there is prophecy of blessing and the people keep on, if people keep on caring and loving the other, serving Yahweh with heart, soul, and mind, they'll keep getting blessings. And that's the pickle that Israelites fell on themselves, because they're in the moment living life good, but then they started serving and worshiping other gods. And then bad things will happen, and the responses will get deeper into serving and worshiping other gods, will show that their hearts are hard. All right, we can start, friend.
can I play with you?
We're going to play Cuphead, B, right? Huh?
What?
Who said what? Cosmos?
Watch them.
You're not a fan of Cosmos?
Is that Logan?
The Cosmos? The Cosmos of horrors. It's funny that like bothered you. Like, that's the thing that stood out to you. It's just like, for me, I was like, cool. But you're like, look, he's not the Cosmos. The Cosmos. It's a protruding cosmos. All right. All right, friends, I'll be right back. I'm going to switch things over to Cuphead and be ready to watch his dialogue.